welcome to yet another live Q&A. We don't have anyone as of yet, but we'll wait for another 2-3 minutes and let the people join. So if you have already joined and if you can hear me, feel free to post your comments or queries in the chat. Sometimes YouTube takes a little longer to show if someone has joined or not, so I may not know if I've already joined or not. Hi Ashutosh. My job is going well, thank you. Hey Abhinandan. What are you currently working on? So we are trying to consolidate a lot of different streams for customer feedback, and that's where I work. So we're just trying to link different sources together, and as you might assume or expect, when data is coming from different sources and external sources, more so, they are not in required format, so it requires quite a lot of data processing. So that's what I'm currently working on. Nikki, playing gacha games? Yes. Mostly Genshin and HSR. So yeah. What about you? Can someone survive in London with 35k salary? Yes, they can, because some of my classmates, they moved to London to look for a job because they thought moving to London and trying to find a data science job there would be easier. So in the meantime, they were doing part-time jobs at um, minimum wage, so they were able to survive. So if the question is just for survival, yes, it is possible. There are certain locations where you can live, and also the transportation is actually really good in London. So I would say yes, it is definitely possible. I do play them. Yeah, they're fun, light-hearted games, so nothing too complex. You can play them on your phone if you like, and the good thing is you can play them on your laptop as well, so it's cross-platform, which I really like. So yeah, now I'm really looking forward to Wuthering Waves. Share your interview experience and tech stack if possible. Thanks. Interview experience. So yes, it's been a while, more than a year now, but yes, I did attend multiple interviews, and they were quite varied. In some of the interviews, they gave me a problem statement to solve, and it was a take-home assignment. After solving those assignments, there was this interview where they discuss about my approach and why did I choose certain algorithm, or why did I choose certain approach. So some interviews were like that. In others, it was like In an interview, they would give a problem statement, and you need to solve those problem using any programming language of your choice. So those were the ones, I think they all happened on hacker rank. So yeah, and in some it was purely based on data science. So the thing is, when their role was for fairly inexperienced job, or it was for a starter data science related roles, there they had asked me to solve problems, coding problems. Whereas when the interview was for fairly experienced role, I didn't have to solve any coding problem. I just had to do this data science round where they asked everything from Python till machine learning and deep learning, then deployment part. So that is what I can say. If you want to understand more about different type of role or different type of interview process, I do have a very dedicated video about that, and I've explained in depth in that video. So let me quickly try to find the link of that video, and I will post it in the chat so that you can go through that video and understand more about what kind of different rounds will be there. Where did it go? Yeah. Yeah, so this is the video. As for tech stack, different companies use different tech stack, but in general, if you are good with Python programming, if you're good with maths, stats, um, machine learning, deep learning, it doesn't matter what tool you're using. If you're good with all these things, I think you should be fine, because most of the questions are around the concept itself rather than the tech stack. In some of the companies, in terms of cloud platform, they use different cloud platforms. In some companies, they use all of them. So yeah, it is quite varied, but the popular ones are Python. For machine learning, you have all the open source packages like sklearn. For deep learning, you'll have two major players there, PyTorch and TensorFlow. Um, as for cloud, there's AWS, GCP, Azure. AWS and Azure are probably the most popular ones, but there are some companies they use some GCP services as well. I emailed you for referral. Currently, we don't have any openings in our team. Don't know about the organization itself, so I'll try to look at the job openings. And if I could find something, I'll be more than happy to refer you, Abhinandan. Hey, please provide your salary range. Help us for motivation. So my salary range is uh, above 40,000 pounds per annum. So that much I can obviously disclose. TensorFlow is dead. You could say so, yeah, because PyTorch is getting popular and popular every single day. But then there are still a lot of organizations where they are still using TensorFlow. So again, it depends. If the system is already built on certain framework, it takes time and it takes considerable amount of cost to move or migrate uh, from one framework to another. So there are still a lot of companies which are using TensorFlow, but like I said, it's important if you understand both the frameworks. I don't know, someone is smoking. It's kind of smelling really bad. Unlike TensorFlow, but now going support is not available. Also, new libraries got introduced. Agree. Yeah. Even I started deep learning using TensorFlow, and TensorFlow was my go-to package back then. So I personally like TensorFlow a lot, and if I have to build something really fast, I still try to sometimes do in TensorFlow. But it's been a while. I haven't developed a deep learning application, so I haven't used either of them. But I agree. Uh, if I have to build something at a production level, most likely it will have to be PyTorch. How to understand Markov's chain? It's complex. Well, I would say the thing is, I'm just trying to remember one of the videos that I saw long back on Markov chain. Um, it was actually good. Well, one thing that you can do is there are some really good articles on Medium. So if videos are not helping, maybe you can try to read on uh, Medium. You should be able to understand something. Uh, or maybe give me some time. I will try to maybe create a PPT or article or even a video on Markov chain, because I remember explaining this concept to one of my friends when we were doing masters. So she wanted to use that for one of the project, but I think even she was facing some issues to understand this concept. So I just explained her very briefly on Zoom, so she was able to understand that and was able to implement that in her project. So I'll try to make a video on that topic alone, and hopefully you'll be able to understand the concept fairly well. What some of your challenges in jobs, if there is any tool you wish for, like taking data from one platform and convert them in JSON or dictionary, something like that? What some of your challenges in jobs, if there is any tools you wish? I'm not sure I got your question, Ashutosh. Maybe if you could reframe it. Like companies are integrating different platforms like social media, forums, etc. Are you working on similar platforms? So what challenges it brings to you? Right. So when we want to integrate or when we want to club different data points from different sources, the biggest challenge is the structure of the data, and by structure I don't mean the overall structures. For example, one could be in a JSON format and the other one could be in a proper tabular format. It's fairly easy to do that. The challenge is the fields itself. So the field coming from different sources, they are in different structure because different platforms they like to put fields in different ways. So for example, if you look at e-commerce website, and when you go and look for a certain phone on different websites, they will be, even if the phone is same, the model number from the company side will be same, on the website it will show in a different format. So when you want to join those two data points together, it becomes really hard. So you first need to create some sort of mapping document to do that. And to create that mapping documents, it brings a lot of challenges. And in that case you would want to use a lot of different tools and techniques to do that, and it is a very time consuming process. So I would say that is the biggest challenge that I have faced in my current role and also in my some of my previous roles. What project are you working on, Ashutosh? I don't have to do the web scraping myself. We have various vendors, they do it for us. But the problem is more from the cleaning perspective and not from the scraping side, because you can only scrape things which are available on the website if you don't have APIs. So scraping the data itself is not a challenge. Structuring them, cleaning them is more of a challenge. And I think without domain knowledge, it's just really hard to clean the data. So if you are someone from the outside and you don't know how the business works, and maybe business is not comfortable in sharing a lot of details with you, in that case you may not be able to do a lot of things. But that's when I think people like me and my team come into picture, where we try to see from the business perspective and make sure that the data is in proper structure. So yeah, that's the problem actually. What is JRF? Junior Research Fellowship, if I remember correctly, last time you told. Correct. What is the project theme of the project, if you don't want to talk about in detail or something like that? Yeah, no problem. I understand. That's why even I can't go in a lot of details about the projects I work on because I'm working for an organization. So I totally understand. It's not a problem at all. I just wanted to understand whether it's a computer vision problem or it's a natural language problem or you're working with a traditional machine learning model on tabular data. So I just wanted to understand that. That's all. But that's totally all right. Do we have any other questions? Right, you work with computer vision. That's good. So are you using PyTorch now? If you're using deep learning, good stuff. Doesn't seem like we have any more questions, but I will still wait for another minute or so in case uh, you have some questions. If not, then we can probably call it a day. All right. Have a great Saturday and a weekend, everyone. And it's always a pleasure to talk to you all. And nice to talk to you too, Ashutosh. It's always nice to talk to you. Yeah, so have a great weekend. I will see you guys next Saturday, 12 p.m. UK time. Bye.